On September 23rd, 2024, in the remote town of New Sweden in Maine, USA, 13-year-old Stefanie Damron left her family's home on West Road and walked into the wooded path that ran behind their property. According to her family, just moments earlier she'd had an argument with her older sister. Upset, she walked away from the house, leading in the direction of the forest she knew so well. Stefanie disappeared between the trees, and that was the last confirmed time anyone saw her. Stefanie was just 2 weeks shy of her 14th birthday. At the time she went missing, she was described as 5 feet tall and weighing 130 pounds. She had shoulder-length brown hair and striking green eyes. When she left home that day, she was dressed for the cool weather in blue jeans, a long-sleeved blue shirt, and a pair of black Harley-Davidson hiking boots. The Damron family lived an off-the-grid lifestyle on 26 acres of wooded land. There was no running water or indoor plumbing, and their electricity was via a generator. Stefanie was one of 6 children, ranging in age from about 8 to 21. They were all homeschooled and had limited access to electronics or social media. Stefanie's grandfather, who was caring for the children that day, had reportedly told family members he saw her heading towards a wooded trail behind the property. He believed she was simply cooling off and would return home soon. That trail led into dense, familiar terrain that the children had explored many times before. As the afternoon passed into evening and temperatures dropped, her absence began to feel unusual. Family members searched nearby areas that she often visited, but found no sign of her. With night settling in and no contact from Stefanie, as she had no cell phone with her, understandably, her family became increasingly worried. She didn't come back that evening, and despite her family's initial belief that she might simply be cooling off from an argument, concerns quickly grew as the hours passed. The next morning, on September 24th, her father contacted the Maine State Police to report her missing. That call marked the official start of what would become a large-scale search effort. Within hours of Stefanie's disappearance, local agencies mobilised a widespread search. The Maine Warden Service and the Maine State Police Canine Unit scoured the forested area around her last known path, gradually expanding their sweep to cover nearby clearings and waterways. Multiple search and rescue teams, on foot, horseback, and with drones, had searched an estimated 4,500 acres, lasting through until December, yet no sign of Stefanie ever emerged. The FBI's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team joined the Maine State Police Major Crimes Unit North in the investigation. Hundreds of interviews and leads were pursued, not only across Maine, but nationwide and into Canada, and still without producing any definitive clues. Months later, in May 2025, favourable weather allowed for a renewed 3-day coordinated search. Law enforcement and volunteers, including the Warden Service, FBI agents, drone operators, canine handlers, and mounted teams, again combed the terrain. Despite the high intensity and the scale of the efforts, covering thousands of acres, officials reported no new leads or findings stemming from that operation. The locals in New Sweden organised search teams, walking the woods in hopes of finding Stefanie. One of the volunteers who was part of the grassroots effort told the media, "We are not going to stop until we find her." The community also held a vigil at the First Baptist Church, where letters, candles and flyers were displayed, with the intention of keeping her story at the forefront of public awareness. Following the large-scale search in May, investigators continued to pursue leads. The Maine State Police Major Crimes Unit North maintained the case as an active, ongoing investigation, while working alongside the FBI's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team. According to official statements, every tip, whether coming from Maine, other US states, or even Canada, was logged and investigated. But again, none of these had produced a breakthrough. The search efforts shifted from wide area ground sweeps to more targeted investigative work. Detectives re-interviewed witnesses, revisited Stefanie's known routines, and examined possible sightings reported by the public. By mid-2025, the focus also included digital forensics, reviewing any available online communications or accounts linked to Stefanie, although law enforcement has not disclosed specifics of those findings. Meanwhile, community members kept the case in the public eye. Posters remained visible around Aroostook County, and residents continued to share her story online. In the absence of official answers, speculation began to spread, and the deeper you look, the stranger it feels. During the time of her disappearance, some locals reported hearing a vehicle in the area around the time Stefanie disappeared. This claim has not been confirmed by law enforcement, and no official statements have linked it to the case. Still, the detail has lingered in community discussions and, for some, has become a point of speculation about whether Stefanie may have left the area in a vehicle, either willingly or under duress. There's a family involvement theory where some online commentators have speculated about possible family knowledge or involvement, and this appears to be the most common theory, particularly in online discussions, and a number of commentators have suggested that the family may know more than they've publicly disclosed. However, no evidence has been presented publicly to support this, and Stefanie's parents are not suspects. There's a runaway theory where it is suggested that Stefanie may have left voluntarily due to personal or family conflict. This remains unverified and is not supported by any confirmed findings. Accidental disappearance. Some believe she may have become lost or injured in the surrounding forest. While this aligns with the area's terrain hazards, no physical evidence has been recovered. A few critics have questioned the delay in the initial search efforts and whether the earliest search efforts could have been faster or more coordinated. However, this remains a matter of opinion and not documented fact. Despite the speculative theories, investigators and community members continue to emphasise that the case remains open, active, and in need of verifiable information from the public. Nearly 10 months after Stefanie vanished, community advocates organised a renewed awareness drive. Volunteers distributed updated missing person flyers across Aroostook County and in nearby Canadian border towns. Local media revisited the case, interviewing residents who had taken part in earlier searches. Several described the continued absence of answers as frustrating and haunting, while stressing their willingness to assist if another search is called. Stefanie's case has also continued to receive regional and national coverage. Her story was featured on America's Most Wanted Missing Persons in May, and a volunteer group called Team Stefanie maintains a dedicated website with case details, flyers, and updates. Social media sharing from locals and true crime communities has helped keep her name in circulation, even months after the last major search. And this is my goal also. By early August, awareness efforts had shifted towards maintaining public engagement through both online platforms and periodic news coverage. While no new public investigative updates were released, those close to the case stressed the importance of keeping Stefanie's story visible and active in the public's mind. Nearly a year has passed since Stefanie Damron walked into the woods behind her home and vanished. Searches have swept thousands of acres, interviews have spanned state and national borders, and yet the truth remains out of reach. For investigators, the case is still open. For the community, the hope of answers has never faded. It is absolutely devastating when anyone goes missing, especially when it is a child. What do you believe happened to Stefanie that day? Was it foul play, an accident, or something else entirely? If you have any information at all, please contact the Maine State Police or the FBI. Even the smallest detail matters.